Look, the Celtics have challenged us for the best record in the league early on, but I'm not scared of them at all. Primarily because I don't think a duo of Kemba and Jason Tatum is enough to take down LeBron and AD.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Nick Young had that point recently on that morning show.
First things first, right?
First thing, yeah, there you go. And that really kind of struck a chord with me. I think he's 100% right. That duo can only take you so far.
Right.
Your ceiling is only so high when Kemba Walker is your best player.
Yeah, and if we go down the other considered championship contender Eastern Conference teams, I'm not really sold on any of them. Let's look at the Bucks, right? The Bucks lost Mirotic. They lost Malcolm Brogdon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have Chris Middleton, who's kind of like a borderline all-star, may make 1 or 2, 3. He's not like a perennial all-star. Definitely not to the caliber of, Anthony Davis, Paul George, or whatever the second fiddle is to the real championship elite teams, right? So it's just going to be Giannis, and then if they can make threes, if Brook Lopez can make his threes, they'll go far. So I think they have a good chance coming out of the East because Giannis is that formidable as a player, and I think he's going to grow from last year's debacle.
And I think he has shown some growth already so far. Yeah.
Okay. I still think the Sixers have not taken that next step. That was why I was hesitant to pick them last year to come out of the East, just because they have not shown to improve. Is Ben Simmons better than he was last year? He made his 3, by the way.
Yeah, he made one. And I was watching our previous clips, and one of the questions that we asked each other on one of the previous episodes that y'all will probably see as like a bonus clip on our social media one of these days is over under on Ben Simmons making 4 3-pointers this season.
Yeah.
And I think we both picked the over, but damn, I'll reconsider that at this point. That's kind of shocking. And it's really frustrating to me because I picked the Sixers to come out of the East the last 2 seasons.
Well, it's because you kind of compared them to the up-and-coming Oklahoma City Thunder, where they had a lot of young talent and they continued to progress.
Yeah, that's basically right.
And the difference between that team and what I've seen so far from the Sixers is that I have not seen them make the next step. They are a 50 to 55 win team max. They've actually lost, in my opinion, some talent. They lost JJ. They lost Jimmy Butler. They did get Horford and Jason Richardson. What's his name? Josh Richardson, right. But I still don't think I've seen the growth from Ben Simmons. I think Embiid is still a big question mark. How can you remember ever when a top 5 player was held scoreless for an entire game? I get like not scoring maybe 10 points. Like, let's say you had an atrocious game and you were 2 for 15.
Yeah.
Right. And you had like 9 points. Right. How did Embiid go 0 for 11 in a game and not score, not even make it to the free throw line once?
Yeah, that's shocking. It's just shocking. I mean, imagine Shaq doing that.
There's no way.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
There's no way.
Never.
And this is why I think the Sixers are going to face similar challenges that they faced last year, is because when they needed Embiid to come up big and really show why he's one of the, he's definitely has like a top 5, top 10 for sure talent in the NBA. Why isn't he performing like that in the playoffs?
Yeah, and just the colossal liability that Ben Simmons is. Huh? You want another one?
Should we?
Yeah, fuck it.
All right. No, but continue, yeah.
So, yeah, just the colossal liability that Ben Simmons is from the perimeter is something that kind of reminds me of Rajon Rondo in his Celtics days when they were making the finals. I remember vividly in 2008 and 2010 how Kobe would go under every screen and literally dare this man to shoot a mid-range jumper every single time. Like, Kobe wouldn't come in 5 feet of this guy because of how bad he was from the perimeter. And while, to his credit, I think Rondo has significantly improved his outside shot in recent years, Ben Simmons is way more a work in progress at this early stage in his career. And that's not to say that he can't come around and eventually develop a jump shot later on in his career, a la Jason Kidd, a la Rajon Rondo. But for this year, going into a playoff series or potential finals matchup, we're going to be able to, whoever makes it, is going to be able to sag off of him and just, clog that paint and dare him to shoot those outside shots. And he has yet to prove that he can do so on a consistent basis, more than literally 1 3-point make for the season
right.
so far. Which apparently he worked on endlessly in the offseason, right? Wasn't that the story?
Yeah, that was the story. But exactly.